Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Boozer here. So in today's video, I just want to do like kind of a fun video and talk about something that I know extremely well about on one end of the spectrum, but I know very little about on the other end, but I can only dream and hypothesize with all you viewers today. And that is basically spending in Raid Shadow Legends and the spending tiers in Raid Shadow Legends. So I want to talk about quickly my thoughts on the different types of spending tiers, the different types of spenders, how to maximize your enjoyment with spending in this game, and even offer maybe some tips on spending and not spending. And we'll let you guys decide how you guys want to spend your money. Obviously, I can't tell you how to spend your money. But at least I can offer some insight into why I choose the spending type that I chosen myself. So personally, I'm a totally free-to-play player, so I don't spend any money in this game, and I don't intend to ever, especially now as an end game player. And you know, I don't want to say that it's because free-to-play is better than XYZ. It's not better. It's just different. It's a completely different mindset that is required to play this game when you spend no money in this game, because money can be a resource that you make outside of the game. So with that said, it does bring with it a mindset that's saying, hey, I have this resource available to me outside of this game when my in-game resources are empty. So as a free-to-play player, you don't have this. This is why it makes it a slightly more different than mindset needed compared to someone that does spend. But anyways, let's go over some of the tiers that I actually came out with, just for thinking, just for people that spend. See which tier you guys end up with, and you guys can let me know in the comments below. I expect a full range of spenders and non-spenders from my viewers. I have no idea what you guys like to do in this game. But we got free to play. Free to play to me totally just means no additional currency, money out of your own pocket into this game. I don't care if you guys gathered Google points to get money. That's a really resourceful way of getting some in-game dollars. That's cool. I don't care if you guys use promo codes. I don't care if you guys do extra promo codes. Like, as long as you spend no money in this game from your own wallet, from your paychecks, you are free to play in my books. Next tier, we got Minnow. So Minnow, I'm expecting you to do the monthly gem packs, maybe the monthly pack and the gem pack, and then that's it. So Minnow's very rare spenders, maybe a warrior pack here and there when they really need something. For Dolphins, you guys might be like jumping in on some shard events. You guys see some nice packs. Maybe you guys you treat yourself to a pack string. You guys are still getting the warrior packs. And then Dolphin, you guys are in on every shard event. You guys are probably buying supplementary packs for shards, for energies, maybe participating in CVC at this point. $1,000 per month. You can definitely get quite a lot of stuff. Krakens, I don't even know what you Krakens and Cthulus spend, but I can only imagine spending $2,000 on this month, a month, and $5,000 a month on this game. You guys are getting a ton of stuff. You guys are going for mercy on events. You guys are targeting specific champions. You guys are going all out, energy, CVC, doing all that crazy stuff with your hard-earned dollars. So this is kind of the tiers that I got. And basically, I just want to go over like as from free to play. So free to play, you're not going to go for any of these obviously dollar purchases. Definitely not going for any of these. So we're going to go on to the Minnow, which is basically $10 or $50 a month. So with $10 or $50, you guys are basically buying, in my opinion, the best value in this game is, I don't even know where it is, but the best value in this game is this thing, the gem pack. So in terms of overall like value, you get this trickle gems every month. Definitely gives you quite a bit of resources. Over a month, so it's not going to be an instant injection of gems. So it's kind of like you buy it, wait for it, and then let it sit and use it. Opportunity, find the right opportunity to use the gems. Beyond that, I would basically look for like all of this. These are totally out of the realm of good value. These are not good value. And then basically at this point you're just looking for warrior circle packs. So warrior circle packs are basically like super packs, super high value packs to entice you to spend, and you only get these if you don't spend for about, I believe, 30 days. If you don't spend for 30 days, they're going to try to drop one of these warrior packs on you to try to entice you into spending again. And there's different levels of how strong these circle packs, how enticing they will be. So for a minnow, you're definitely going to get some of these circle packs injected into your shop. For spenders, you're not going to get this circle pack because they basically boost up the size of all their offerings to you because they know you spend. So that's Plarium in a nutshell. For dolphins, I could totally expect you guys to get something like this, which is actually okay value. It's not going to be insane, but it gives you a little bit of everything, and it's always available. And then obviously you guys would be looking for some nice value packs. Like, I don't know if this is actually good. This is not super good, but it's probably reasonable. And obviously any warrior packs you guys are looking for, you guys are definitely going to get as a low spender. So anybody, dolphin, I would say dolphin is low spender. Dolphin and below is probably low spender. But if you're a whale plus, you're probably maxing out like your shard strings. So if you guys get like the big shard strings, they're going to be like $250. You're going to get those for sure. And I guess I want to cover like a couple spots where you guys want to focus your spending, I guess. So if you guys are low spenders, so like dolphin, minnow, dolphin, minnow, I would probably just pick up for sure energy. So if you guys are still progressing your account, pick up energy. If you guys are in the end game or late game, you guys might want to consider some shards, right? You might want to think about shards. If you guys are hooked on books, if you guys need books, then definitely wait for the warrior circle packs that offer books for you. But I would probably consider shards, but it really depends. So shards or gems for the low end, and then obviously for the high end players, they will be looking for like soulstone offers. So they'll be looking for soulstone offers like this. To me, soulstones are like such a big scam. Like you don't get the champion, you get nothing of use. At least when you get shards, you get a champion, right? A champion that may or may not be useful, but these things, like, you get basically nothing from them. You get pennies on the dollar when you sell them, and you don't get anything usable. If you pull a blessing for a champion you don't have, it's totally useless. Yeah, I don't know. This is for a particular audience for sure. This is for definitely end game players. So I would definitely steer away from spending dollars here if you guys are not super end game players. But things like energy, things like gems are always really good. It's good to have. I think gems are better because they have no expiration date, whereas energy, they will expire in 99 days. So definitely consider that. These kind of things where you can stack up like the tokens. This is like very low value. You get ancient shard and one energy. Very low value, but if you're a super low spender, this is actually okay. Like I said, this is probably okay if you like a selection of shards, help you top up for fusions and whatnot. This is actually a decent pack if you care about these items. In terms of dollar value, I think it's still okay, but I don't think not everyone is going to be offered this type of deal because this is a low spender deal. So yeah, and I would fully expect anyone in the Kraken whale to basically max out any deal for shards that are incoming their way. Ultimately, like I said, I touched upon this. It's kind of like change in mentality, right? So free to play, you have a finite resource. It's any in-game resource. If you run out, that's it. You're done. You can't tap in for more. Whereas when you start spending, then you start losing this idea of having a finite resource. You have a basically unlimited resource, money, right, outside of this game. Or the pool is much larger, basically. So you can, kind of let loose. It saves you time in game. So whereas if you're a low spender, you want to maximize all your resources. You're spending a lot of time in game. You're trying to do everything. You're trying to do, your Doom Tower. You're trying to do all your faction wars. You're trying to make sure everything's done. Whereas if you're a spender, you can kind of let go a little bit, relax a little bit. You don't have to do all your dailies. Like basically I'm doing everything in this game to maximize my resources. I'm trying to do things as optimal as possible. And this is just like the free to play way if you want to play at the end game high level. But so for me, like, I'm like getting everything in these like whenever these timers are up, I'm on top of it right away. So I like it's kind of just like the mentality, right? So for me, like I'm maximizing everything in this game, getting all the resources I can. But as soon as you start spending, you kind of lose this sense of urgency because you know that you have this backup resource. So it's kind of a good and bad thing, right? Because you kind of, you're going to lose a little bit of your daily activity, but it gives you more time and freedom and obviously less stress, right? So for me, like, yes, it is kind of stressful sometimes trying to manage it. I do play 2 accounts, so it does, increase a little bit of stress, I guess, managing both. But once you start spending, you can kind of lay back a little bit, let your energy cap, let resources expire, don't have to maximize every area of the game. And then you might get more enjoyment out of it. I mean, yeah, but sometimes it does speed up your game. So I'm going to say money does speed up your game. But at a certain point, spending money is not going to help you achieve a lot of things. So for example, you can throw a ton of money into like shards. You might never get that champion, right? You might never get that champion. You might never like reach a new tier of progression, whether it be like PvP, so arena focused, or whether you reach you want like top speed clears, or you want to finish certain area content of the game. Like I've seen super crazy accounts with lots of legendaries, but they're built poorly, they don't have good gear, the teams are not optimized, the player doesn't spend much time in the game. I'm sure that happens a lot. But so throwing more money into this game isn't going to help you in that regard. So you have to spend time in the game at that point. And I will say, like, there is diminishing returns. So for someone that spends, like, for example, like $10,000 in the game, and someone that spends like $100,000 in a game, there are people like that spend this much or more. I would say the gap it's high, but I think the $100,000 person will just have like, obviously more empowered champions, better gear. But does that mean that the $10,000 player can't beat this type of player team in some settings? Not necessarily. It doesn't make the $100,000 player like invincible to defeat. But the gains from that account is just not going to be that much more insane. So you have to ask yourself, at some point, do I spend more money, and how much more money do I invest into this game to try to be competitive or to compete? But it's not really necessary to spend, in my opinion, after a certain point, especially after when you get Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss on farm. Getting some of these resources, like, yes, it's kind of like good. Actually, this pack is not too bad, actually. Like these 2 books and then all this energy is not too bad. So definitely trying to get me to click that button, trying to click that buy button. But obviously I'm not going to. But yeah. And obviously spending habits and spending priorities will be different as you progress through the game. So if you're late game, end game, you're not going to care about certain aspects. You're going to care about more targeted events like void events. Maybe you want energy for CVC, or maybe you need books for a specific champion. And if you're early, getting energy actually isn't the most important, because you're not going to be you're not going to be farming top dungeons, so blasting all your energy into that is not the best. So actually, shards, I think in general, low and high spend is probably top priority buy. Like for a low spender, if you can get lucky on a shard, on a champion, I think sometimes the champion is strong enough to carry you even with horrible gear. So even like an early Duchess or something can definitely carry like any account. So I don't know. I would consider using money on shards if I was like a spender in this game. I would definitely not waste energy on some dungeons. Obviously, Iron Twins, Necropolis. I wouldn't waste money on blessing resources from the shop unless you're like super end game, and that's the only place where you can get upgrades from. So yeah, but I just want to go over like a couple like my thoughts on the spending types of players, spending tiers, and then what players kind of should maybe think about purchasing or not purchasing, depending on their spending levels in this game. Personally, like I said, I can only really speak from free to play, and as a free to play player, Like I said, it does get a little bit stressful managing everything, and obviously trying to optimize everything in the game, so you can get them all the resources from the game, so you can stock them up and play at a high level. Of course, it doesn't matter if you don't want to play at a high level. You always want to play like casually, and it's still very enjoyable that way. But for me personally, I want to play at the top level as high as I can, and this is kind of the way I do it. And obviously I amassed a lot of resources, and yeah, I can't speak too much about what Krakens or Cthulhu's do, but I'm sure they gobble up all the stuff in the shop, and then they maximize on targeted events, and then they'll crush their opponents with sheer power from their champions, I'm sure. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed some of my insights on just general spending in this game. This game is definitely enjoyable without spending, but I can see it can be definitely spendable, enjoyable as a spending game as well. And also, if you guys are struggling, actually a quick comment here, and also if you guys are struggling with the idea of spending in this game, I don't want to discourage anyone from spending, because it's obviously your money and what you do with it, it's up to you. I don't want to discourage you, but the only if you guys are struggling with the idea of spending in this game, just consider it like entertainment, right? You spend time in this game, you want to enjoy it. It's basically like, treat yourself to a beer, save that beer, spend it in Raid Shadow Legends. You guys will feel a bit better about it. If you guys get, you guys spend $100, buy a bunch of shards, you guys whiff on it. It's kind of putting a black chip on blackjack and then just letting it go, right? Or putting it on roulette wheel. Like, it's obviously a gambling. This is a gambling game disguised as a I don't know, MMO. I don't know what it's disguised as, but don't feel too bad about it. It's entertainment, guys. Have some fun with it. If it starts getting out of hand, reality check yourself a little bit. Don't go overboard. And yeah, just generally just do what's enjoyable for you. Don't stress about it. If you guys are free to play, don't stress about spending money in this game. If you guys really want that, that pack that has that really good deal, go for it, man. But if you guys are sticking to your guns, then free to play all the way. I'm with you guys. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Best of luck on your polls, if anything. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. See you guys later.